Because he has no other friends.
Very funny. Very funny, Mitty. I remember
Titanic after she sank, and if they did, what happened next? In this video, we'll uncover the terrifying fate of anyone trapped below.
It's not terrifying. Oh, wait.
You know what? Do you guys think you would survive Titanic?
Yeah, I would.
No, I'm not. I don't think I'm rich enough.
I would be a female.
I don't. Yeah, okay, so bro just said he wouldn't even get on the Titanic.
The poor people.
That wasn't
like,
part of the.
poor people were
part
first.
Wait, Cindy, that matches your Among Us avatar.
He's homeless.
Wait, my new Among Us avatar would get me a boat. I'd be first on, bro.
My mom is kind of homeless. Oh.
We first have to understand the unique way the Titanic went under, because how it broke apart holds the keys to whether anyone could have been alive. This ship was built with watertight compartments intended to separate seawater from the rest of the vessel if flooding began. But in reality, these areas weren't actually watertight. They had openings at the top. When the Titanic struck the iceberg, it tore open 5 compartments in the bow. Water flooded in, spilling from one compartment to the next, leaving the front of the ship heavy with water while the stern remained filled with air. As the bow sank deeper, the pressure was too much and the ship split in 2. Nobody could have survived in the bow as it sank. It was completely flooded. But what about the stern? After the bow went under, the stern lifted upwards into the sky with its propellers fully visible. It was this way of sinking that made it possible for some to remain alive inside the ship. The stern was mostly sealed off, even after the ship tore apart, so it most likely contained trapped pockets of air in crew quarters, storage areas, and even some stairwells.
The water was too cold. Like,
friggin' big brain over here. I don't think that's the point. I think it's the point if you make it past the initial crash. Okay.
And you don't get on one of the lifeboats.
I also don't really understand how how air pockets work. Like, why doesn't the water just fill it up?
Because air, it has so much pressure there that like the water, like.
Okay, I feel like you're just sprouting gibberish though. Cindy, do you have an explanation for me?
The YouTube experiment.
Air pockets underwater do not fill up with water.
I don't think it'd be the YouTube.
The water,
maybe it would. High and low concentration.
The water
type
pressure
stuff.
increases as you descend, compressing the air within the pocket. This is similar to how balloons fills up with air when submerged in water.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mitty.
I don't really get it.
Turns out Mitty was right.
When I was?
Air volumes?
No, Mitty was. Mitty was right. Well, I told him to shut up because I thought he was sprouting nonsense.
Behaved like giant lungs, venting and shifting as the hull twisted. Of the 1,500 people who perished, it was likely people were still trapped in the stern when those air pockets formed. They'd be plunged into dark.
I would rather be one of the first people to die. What about y'all?
Yeah, it's probably pretty scary.
I wouldn't want to drown to death. I'd rather kill myself.
Yeah, but wait. Do you guys think? Hold on, I'm gonna Google it. But do you guys think you would die faster of the cold water or drowning?
Cold water would make you go numb.
Cold water induced drowning. I don't really know what to say, but I feel like that is.
You have like 60 seconds before you drown, depending on how long you can hold your breath. So.
I can hold it way longer than that.
Okay, well, it depends on how long you can hold your breath. If you
okay.
Strange bragging.
You're gonna drown if you can't.
Actually, yes, you would die faster from the shock and rapid hypothermia in the frigid Titanic water, with the most victims succumbing to the extreme cold before ever succumbing to the idea of drowning.
Well, the also problem they had was that they were wearing clothes, so even if they did get out of the water, technically they would still be freezing cold and they would.
If I was in it and it sunk, I'd probably be naked because But anyways.
Darkness and every creak of the ship's frame.
I probably would have been getting busy before I drowned, if you know what I'm saying. You gotta find some entertainment.
It would sound like
it sunk at night.
That's an even better time.
Coming from inside their own skulls. So it was possible that some survived after the ship sank beneath the surface. The question is how long those air pockets could have lasted, and whether it made survival more merciful
20 minutes.
Or more cruel.
More cruel, bro. Imagine you like survive, and you would know that you were sinking, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would know because it's just super dark and you can't see anything and you're just stuck there.
Well, but would you know you're sinking? Like, would you know that? How would you know
You would
that?
feel the ship like shaking around and stuff and falling down.
You'd hear screaming and frantic
then,
people.
Yeah, and you would also
like as you're sinking, the screams slowly stop. Yeah, that'd be so scary.
This sounds kind of like atmospheric. That's a weird way to explain it. But like, imagine being the person in the air bubble. That'd be kind of like, that's a scenario no one's ever in.
That's a scenario I never
It's a
want.
scenario that no one's ever made.
Imagine you try to risk it for the biscuit, right? And you like go under to see if you can like get out of the air bubble and like go up to the surface, but everything's dark and you can't find your way back.
And like no one's alive.
Yeah, you're cooked.
They're probably just dead bodies. Oh my. Oh.
Yeah, that would suck.
They wouldn't be dead. But, or well, yeah, they.
What else would they be?
The first and most grim possibility was that passengers trapped in the air pockets might have survived long enough to reach the sea floor. A horrifying thought, because the stern's plunge lasted 6 to 10 minutes, nearly 2.5 miles through total darkness. But the way the stern fell would make survival difficult. After breaking apart, the stern didn't sink cleanly. It twisted, rotated, and collapsed in on itself before hitting bottom in a blast of debris. The impact folded decks like paper, crushing anything still sealed inside. On the off chance any air pockets survived the entire descent, the final impact would have been annihilating. Entire rooms would have collapsed in milliseconds, killing anyone who survived before they even knew it happened. Thankfully, physics leaves almost no chance anyone made it that far down. But even surviving part of that descent would have been a nightmare on its own.
I didn't even think about that. Wouldn't you just get like crushed?
It's because the pressure is so strong when you get that deep.
Many air pockets would have flooded almost instantly. As pressure
Let's not self-glaze here.
Built, rivets loosened, seams split, and the Atlantic forced its way inside, swarming survivors. In those spaces, air rushed out in violent bursts as freezing water filled every corner. Survivors outside the ship reported seeing portholes burst as air escaped. For anyone still trapped in these areas, death came within seconds of the stern submerging. The cold and violent...
That's better than it taking like a long time, though.
Yeah.
Violent surge would have knocked the air from their lungs before they could take one last breath. But some air pockets were likely sealed off enough to keep the ocean out at least for a while, which raises the darker question. What happens when the water never reaches you?
You'd run out of air.
As the stern fell, pressure would have climbed meter by meter. Survivors would have waited in complete darkness as air compressed. Their ears popped, breathing tightened, and they listened to the ship twist around them. For a few hundred meters down, these pockets could have persisted. But between 30 seconds and a minute after the ship disappeared beneath the surface, lifeboat survivors reported hearing something horrifying, a distant roar beneath them. This was almost certainly the stern imploding. The steel of the stern would have yielded to crushing pressure of the Atlantic, and the trapped air pockets collapsed in milliseconds. Those inside would have experienced no sound and no warning, just instantaneous annihilation.
Instantaneous annihilation.
This was the most plausible fate for them.